Good morning. Thanks for tuning in. You're watching the F&O Show on Bloomberg Quint Live, India's first digital live streaming business news service. I'm Navneet Saluja D'Souza, and with me is Agam Vakil. Well, let's look at the markets first. Second straight day of gains coming in. Remember, in the last hour of trade yesterday, once again, there was some buying seen, and that continues today as well. 45 points higher for Nifty. In fact, it's trading above the mark of 11,300, but the premium has shrunk to almost 3 to 4 points compared to 20 points premium which we saw for yesterday's close for Nifty futures. Let's just see if there is any sort of build-up which has come in. Not really, 2% higher. And for Bank Nifty as well, there were some gains seen. In fact, Bank Nifty is now inching very closer to the mark of 29,000, trading with premium of almost 60 points. I just want to highlight the broader markets as well. So the gains have come in for broader markets too, but not too much. Mid-cap index is just up about 20 points. Pull up the advanced decline ratio. That gives you a better picture of the entire listed universe. As of now, it is in favor of the decline. So ratio is somewhere about 4:3. And India volatility index this morning has seen some bit of, no, actually it's back in the green. It's up 1%. So watch out for India VIX. In terms of option strikes, what's happening for the expiry, which is lined up for next Thursday, that's 23rd May. Look at the maximum open interest. It is at the 12,000 call and the 11,200 put, followed by the 11,000 put. And very interestingly, Agam, I was just looking at the data yesterday. If you look at the maximum open interest at the 12,000 call, it is just about 6 lakhs. Yeah. On the put side, where it is at 11,200, it is 5 lakhs, followed by 3 to 3.5 for 11,000 put. It's clearly signifying ahead of that crucial event, there is lack of participation. I don't think traders are willing to go out and take big positions, because usually a strike where maximum open interest is, you tend to see at the start of the series of, open interest somewhere in the range of 15 to 20 lakhs.
Well, Navneet, I wouldn't blame any trader for
they're being cautious and they have all the right to do so.
And especially, given it's going to be such a volatile environment, and as we move into the last phase of the election, and eventually on Monday, we will have the market to react to opinion polls. It is going to be, I would say, not short of very sharp moves, which is why a lot of traders may want to actually not put in too much in terms of positioning. But that said, let's take a look at all the stocks which are buzzing today and seeing perhaps an increase in open interest or a decrease in open interest. So Interglobe Aviation is it's flat right now. I did see a lot of weakness yesterday. There was 20% in open interest added today. Just Dial and Manappuram Finance, Bajaj Finance are looking traction towards the positive, seeing fresh longs, as is the case for Hexaware too. So we'll be watching out for that. Let's take a look at stocks which are seeing unwinding in open interest. So OI unwinding is not as much for any of these counters. Berger Paints, Engineers India, Shriram Transport Finance, but Dabur. I reckon, and as Navneet has been pointing out, there isn't as much increase in open interest overall because traders are hesitant to take positions there. We'll be watching out for something like Interglobe Aviation, however, considering it's a flat, and yet we are seeing surge in OI today, Navneet.
Okay, but some other stocks where we would be taking views from our technical experts on the show are the likes of Indigo, which Agam's already highlighted. The stock's taken support at 50 DMA today. The other one is Bajaj Finance. Numbers came out yesterday, spectacular quarter for the company, and the stock has hit live highs today. And Manappuram Finance, where both price as well as open interest action seen this morning. Stocks up 8% for this week. And finally, Reliance Capital, which is moving on back of some news which is coming, where Nippon is looking to acquire Reliance Capital's 43% stake in the Nippon AMC. So that's reacted positively, but it remains an underperformer. The stock's down nearly 20% in last 1 month.
Okay, on that note, let's get in our experts for the show. But before that, here's a reminder, if you have any queries regarding futures and options, you can call us on 022-4540-4141. Of course, you can also WhatsApp your queries in on the number provided on your screen. And as far as the social media is concerned, do add the AskBQ hashtag if you put in queries on Facebook, YouTube, as well as Twitter. On that note, we welcome in our experts for the day. Brijesh Singh of StockAxis will be joining us in just a bit. And we also have Amar Singh of Angel Broking joining us on the show. Good morning, Amar. Let's start with you. How is trade panning out now? Would you want to be a little more cautious ahead of a very crucial week? How are things looking to you right now?
The indices, technically we are seeing that they have got now very strong support For Nifty 11,100, again on the upside, resistance around 11,350, 360 zone. And technically, however, the short-term trend still remains bearish. With the major event lined up on Monday with the exit polls results coming out, so that could lead to some real sharp volatility. So I would say yes, one should be cautious ahead of that. And any positions, if one has for profitable positions, one should look at booking profits and staying away, because we're likely to witness both side movement on Monday. As far as Bank Nifty is concerned, again, Bank Nifty is also displaying similar patterns. Yes, some of the NBFC and some of the banks have stayed positive, and that has really helped Bank Nifty. But technically for today, I would say a crucial zone of resistance for Bank Nifty is 29,030, 29,040 zone. That's a very strong and crucial intraday zone of resistance for Bank Nifty. If it doesn't breach that level, then we could see a slide in Bank Nifty towards 28,700, 750 levels during intraday session. Only a breach above 29,030, 29,040 zone could lead it higher towards 29,200 levels. But yes, again, as I said, getting out of a trade or booking profit, or if minor loss is there, then doing that would be a better option today.
Okay, so if you're in the money, if you're making any sort of profit, Amar is advising to book profits, because next week will be volatile. Exit polls come out on Sunday evening. Markets would react to that on Monday. And remember, both Nifty, Bank Nifty have taken support at 100-day moving average. It bounced back from there. And now on the upside, probably for both these indices, you can watch out for 50-day moving average. But Amar, no index specific strategy for the day, but tell us, in terms of stock futures, are there any trends that you're spotting where you would recommend taking any position?
Yeah, I would say that one can look at SBI, State Bank of India, because State Bank of India, if we look at this particular stock, what we are seeing is that it did witness some correction towards 295, 300 levels, has bounced back to 315, and technically it continues to remain extremely strong on the intermediate term trend as well as the long term, that's the monthly chart. So any pullback in this stock can be used as a buying opportunity. So ideally, SBI around 308, 310 levels can be a buying opportunity with a stop loss of 297 and a target of 328 in the short term. And the second stock to look at is from the IT space, and that is Infosys. Infosys, what we are witnessing is today there is some mild correction in the stock. It's down by 1%, 1.5%, but overall the trend still remains positive for Infosys, and also with the rupee depreciation, that has also helped the stock. So any pullback towards 720 levels can be used as a buying opportunity with a strict stop loss of 702 and a target of 768 on the upside.
Okay, I believe we have Brijesh Singh joining us now. Brijesh, good morning to you too. How are you going to position yourself right now, Brijesh, when it comes to markets? Or would you want to avoid taking any positions whatsoever, considering we are going to go through a very crucial weekend, considering we'll have opinion polls come through?
Good morning, Agam. See, no doubt the coming week would be a very crucial, and we might see a huge volatility in it, because the exit polls results would be coming up. So there are chances that we might see a swing of say 200 points to a 3 or more than 300 points or more than that also. But purely from a chart point of view, keeping the strategy for a day or two, what I am being witnessing right now in Nifty is that after Nifty made a swing low of 11,106 or 8, I'm talking taking the Nifty spot value. And from there, we have seen a pullback. So on the hourly chart and as well as on the short-term time frame of the chart, the higher lows formation was been there in price chart, followed by the oscillator front. So which indicates a little bit pullback would be there. And after that, it might the pullback can be till a level of say 11,385 to 11,400, and after that we might see a profit booking. So what I'm been assuming, taking a Nifty indice as a buy call, anything below 11,295. One can take a buy call with a strict stop loss of 11,250 and play for the target of 11,385 to 11,390.
And what about individual stock ideas then, Brijesh?
Navneet, two stocks which are looking good on a buy side is one is Canara Bank. the stock had made the higher lows formation on the 15-minute chart with the trend line breakout in it. So present rate of 244 can be used for accumulation purpose of any dip till 242 with the strict stop loss of 239 and play for the target of 253 to 255. And another call which I was been witnessing when I forwarded to you was to your team was NCC. The on the hourly chart, the stock had made a W pattern, which was giving a bullish sign. Still, I have been considering it on a bullish wave. Present rate of 93. The stock is been quoting. One can take a buy call on it with a strict stop loss of 91.5 and play for the target of 96. Mind is all the three buy call which I have given for Indici, Canara Bank and for NCC. The time frame to hold would be only 2 to 3 trading session.
Okay, well, those are some of the stocks that our analysts are recommending, but let's talk about, well, maybe one or two stocks that we want to address. I'm going to pick up Bajaj Finance. Wow. Well, there's no point selling that stock, irrespective of however volatile markets are, because that one just keeps going on from strength to strength. And, well, there is no stopping this one. If you ever short, if you have even attempted shorting Bajaj Finance, irrespective of however overbought it may have looked, it's up 4.6% today, and, well, you would have got your hands burnt. Again, it's seeing a surge. Well, which Nifty company gives you a growth of over 50% in today's time and age? That's the question a lot of analysts are asking, and which is why a lot of analysts have also hiked the price targets. So irrespective of the valuations, Bajaj Finance going from strength to strength. Many consider it to be an exceptional performance for this one, a consistently exceptional performance. Now, with a lot of strength, the real question is how does the, well, risk-reward ratio look when it comes to perhaps buying Bajaj Finance even at these levels? So, Amar, I come to you on this one. What would you do with this?
I would say that at least I would not go fresh long at these levels. For the simple reason is that if you look at the low that was made on 14th May 2850 and currently it's around 3250. So that's a 400 point move in the stock. So more than 15, roughly around 15% or so in this up move in the last 3-4 trading sessions. So if one were long, then one could look at booking profits, but not fresh long at these levels. And technically now the stock has got some very strong support zone coming around 1030, 1050 zone. So those who are long and wish to hold on to the long positions, ideally the stop loss needs to be below 1030 odd levels. And on the upside, the stock, the way the stock has shown momentum over the last 3 trading sessions, it has the potential to rally towards 3350 levels.
Okay, that's Bajaj Finance for you at live highs. The other one is Interglobe Aviation, which has been in focus since yesterday. In fact, stock was down 6 to 7% yesterday. This morning, there was a gap down opening. Let's just pull up the intraday chart. 21% higher, by the way, in terms of OI build-up. After the gap down opening, there was some recovery for the stock, but it's still right now trading in the flattish territory. We're talking about Interglobe Aviation here. That graph will just come up on the screen. Brijesh, if I could come to you, open interest build-up has been higher for this one, at least this morning. And yesterday also there was some shorting seen. Right now, stock is just about in the positive territory, up almost 0.5%. If somebody had carried forward their short positions from yesterday, what would you advise them to do? And what are the levels that you will be watching out in this?
See, Navneet, yesterday when I was on the closing show with you and Neeraj, there were 2 picks. So in that one of the 2 picks, Interglobal Aviation was been there, and I recommended of selling somewhere around 1488 or say 1490 with a stop loss of 1550 and play for the target of 1420 and followed by 1370. If I'm not mistaken, today the stock made a low of 1420. Even after that, we have seen a pullback of till, and now it has been quoting at 1475. Still, overall trend is been down. Suppose someone has gone short yesterday, I would have thinking that they would have made the money. For the fresh short side, at the present rate, I would be avoiding. But if some pullback till the level of say 1490, if it comes, or 1500, then again one can take a sell side with a strict stop loss of 1550, and again look for the target of 1420, because the ultimate target where the stock would be taking a support is somewhere around 1370 zone.
Okay, guys, we're going to very quickly take up some queries, and we'll try and address as many as we can. But let's start with Yes Bank. We have a question from Abdul Wajid. Now, Yes Bank, of course, is a very tough stock to trade these days, considering such a volatile, environment it's going through. It's up 2.5%, however, and there's open interest increase of as much as 2%, but that doesn't necessarily mean this is essentially longs at this point in time, especially given that it has seen so much correction of late. Abdul Wajid has said that he has bought the Yes Bank June call, 160 call. Please advise what I should do. Now, 160 is still a bit far off, but again, it's not possible that it may not go. The only question is that if you're going to be willing to play until June, how much could you lose in time decay even if Yes Bank very gradually moves up to 160? That's the question we should ask our experts. So, Brijesh, I'll take this up with you. Firstly, your view on Yes Bank. Secondly, how would you address the June 160 call, which the gentleman has bought at 11.5?
See, Agam, overall trend of the chart has been negative. The stock has been beaten from a level of 285, and from there it has taken support. The previous swing low was somewhere around 162 to 165. It has been consolidating that level, and after that we have seen a pullback to the level of 180, 185, and again it has broken the previous swing low, which was a 52-week low, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere around 142 or 147 was been there, and it has made the new 52-week low of 134. So overall, short term to medium term, the time frame of the chart suggests that the stock is in the bear grip rather than in the bull grip. Now we can see a pullback to the level of say 160 or 165, but still I would be considering the stock can be seen trading below 125 also, because the next important support for the stock is 110 zone. So at the present rate of 11 and a half, I think, if I'm not, the call has been trading somewhere around 100 somewhere around 12 rupees or 13 rupees. So I would be only suggesting keep a strict stop loss of 125 or say 120 and hold on, and as soon as the stock reaches to 160, I think your call value would be somewhere around say 15 to 17 rupees. Better to put profit in it rather than holding it.
Okay, that's the view coming in on Yes Bank 160 call, which is right now out of the money as the stock trades at levels of 140. Kaushik Kundu writes to us and he wants a view on Reliance Industries, a counter which has come off from those levels of 1400 that we'd seen. In fact, for the month of May so far, the stock's down nearly 8 to 9% in trade. Amar Singh, if I could come to you on the charts, would you recommend taking any trade for Reliance Industries?
I would say that Reliance definitely seems to have formed a strong base around 1225, 1230 level. So ideally, that's the level where the stock is going to meet with very strong support zone. However, on the upside, the stock has got resistance around 1285, 1290 levels, because technically, I would say the short-term trend for the stock remains bearish. So higher levels would be sold into, but at the same time, the stock seems to be very strongly supported around 1220. So I would rather suggest that let the stock consolidate, and then one can look at initiating a long position, because the overall long-term trend still remains positive for the stock.
Okay, well, Harsh Jithani has a question on L&T Finance. He wants to know what can be done with this. We've seen some strength in NBFCs of late, of course, especially following Bajaj Finance. It's up less than 1% today, L&T Finance, and open interest surging by around 1.2%. Not too much change here. At 117, Amar, I'll come back to you. How would you view L&T Finance now?
Finance witnessed a very sharp correction. If you look at it, the high that was made in April itself was 155 levels, and from there it has currently trading around 117. And technically, if I look at the charts on the long-term charts, the stock has got very strong support in the zone of 110, 115 zone. So there is a possibility that we could witness a pullback in this stock, but that pullback should be used for those on the long side to exit, because on the upside, the stock has got very strong resistance coming around 120, 125 zone.
That's L&T Finance Holdings. The stock's down 20% in last 1 month. Petronet LNG, remember, came out with the numbers which were not so good. We did see a degrowth in terms of top line, bottom line. The margins also contracted. On back of which there was some shorting seen, I remember, in the last 2 sessions at least. The stock has recovered today. It's up 3% in trade. Brijesh, Gaurav Jaggi's bought the stock at 239. What would your advice be to him?
See, Navneet, I would be advising him to hold on, because the positive divergence has been seen on the oscillator front. And the stock on the shorter term time frame of the chart had made a bullish hammer, which is generally used for the reversal pattern. So 119 is the first support, followed by 220 to 225 band is another support. I am looking stock at least going back to the level of 238 to 240, where the resistance lies. If the stock is able to give closing above 240, then the next level to watch on the higher side will be 246. So I would be suggesting to hold on. At least your rate buying price would be coming in a few days of a time frame, but keep a strict stop loss of 222 zone.
Okay, there you have it. That's your view on Petronet LNG. Unfortunate, guys, that we have run out of time on the show. So I'm going to take a moment to thank both our experts, Brijesh and Amar, for joining us and taking us through their views, as well as solving some of our viewer queries. For more updates on the F&O space, you can also check our website, bloombergquint.com, specifically the futures and options pages.
Well, with that, it's a wrap on this edition of the F&O Show. But the big interview of the day, Congress President Rahul Gandhi will be in conversation with Sanjay Pugalia and Raghav Bell of Quintillion Media later in the day. Stay tuned for that.